Okay folks, new micro SD card in my phone, and it's a very hot sunny day with gusty winds. They say it's going to get up to 36. It feels pretty warm in this unit, even though I just felt the wind a little bit. The wind is quite nice, even though it blows my hat around. I made a little retainer to wear in this kind of weather, and it works very well. It's preventing my baseball cap from flying off my head. Feels really hot at the moment in here. Actually, I'm starting to feel hot, to be honest, folks. This user interface is a pain. Did you see that thing just run by? Really, the company that put this photocopier together, Konica Minolta, ought to hang their heads in shame. They're fucking idiots. They're bloody monkeys. Not a racial or a homophobic slur, but a slap in their low IQ department. That their IQ is nothing special. They're not geniuses, they're not nerds and geeks. They're just a bunch of fucking money-fucked idiots. Stupids. I call them stupids, because they are stupid. Anyway, let's see what we have. We have here Winnie the Pooh. Okay, this does remind me of a late friend of mine that I used to go to church and fellowship with. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all religious on you folks. Don't worry. I don't go to church anymore, so don't worry. I'm not going to be a problem buddy. What do you call it? A preacher or a religious nut. I just don't go to church anymore. It's really odd because this person was really nice. She was also a believer as well, but that's beyond the point. She had problems with her stepfather. Her stepfather was a sexual abuser and a rapist, and her childhood was taken away by this bitch. I call him a bitch, he is a fuckwit. Took her childhood away, and she used to love Winnie the Pooh because Winnie the Pooh was like, she could reclaim some of what she lost by enjoying Winnie the Pooh. So I dedicate this video to her because she really loved Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie the Pooh was like a real comfort to her. She didn't believe in the fairy tale shit, but she basically, it was a childhood feeling, a feeling of reclaiming a piece of your childhood, a piece of who you were when, despite what had happened. And she was the most gorgeous person, and she really was a nice person, and she was really patient with me because I was quite a difficult person myself. But she was really nice, and I really take my hat off to her and what she did, how she tried to encourage me in my own battles and my own turmoil. And she's now dead. She died on Christmas Eve 2004. And she didn't want to see another Christmas, funnily enough, even though she herself was a devout Christian. Because of the sexual abuse being ramped up on Christmas Day, that's what spoiled it for her. That was the spoiler. And she could not enjoy Christmas, even though she loved the message. She loved the Christian message about Christmas, but she hated the personal meaning that it got through him. But he couldn't take it away, everything away. And I do believe she's in a happy place now, that she's happy and she's not worrying about him and having flashbacks and suicidal ideations and shit. She stuck with it till the very end, and she passed away, and it was like she didn't have to put up another Christmas with the memories of him. And Winnie the Pooh indeed is so iconic of her in my mind. I always like to remember her through Winnie. So let's see how we go with this. But yeah, I just like to remember her and how she was really kind and patient, even though she had had so much difficulty in her life through this stepfather of hers. And this is Winnie the Pooh. Looks really cold in this picture. Looks like ice. Icy old Winnie this picture is. I wonder if we're going to keep it like that. Maybe add a background colour to it to add a bit of detail in the image. But the blue looks nice. It looks like a real cold, icy. On a hot summer's day, yeah, you'd think so. That would be nice. We're just going to lighten it off a bit. Actually, we're going to... I do wonder what we're going to do with this Winnie the Pooh thing. Yeah, that looks interesting. Looks a bit more greener and a bit lighter. I'm going to make it into a movement piece, I was thinking. Still looks a bit faint. This area looks a bit wishy-washy. I do wonder if we're going to maybe... add a background colour to this. Yeah, when I first heard about Winnie the Pooh, I was really young, and I always imagined the name Pooh sounded like something that comes out of your bum. P-O-O, and I wondered, why do they call it Winnie the Pooh? You know, like, I thought it was really funny. Yeah, there's not much of that background colour there. But yeah, I always thought it was like P-O-O, as in Winnie the Pooh, as in the thing that you do in the toilet. And I still find that that's in my head to this present day, folks. I actually wonder if I might use this as a master copy. But basically, yeah, I associated Winnie the Pooh with what goes on in the toilet, and I just wondered why they called it Winnie the Pooh. And also there was a Winnie the Pooh, the first Winnie the Pooh I heard of was, I think it was called Winnie the Pooh Got Stuck in the Hole, and I remember that. And I remember that title, Winnie the Pooh Got Stuck in the Hole. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting, actually. It's less cold, but it looks more interesting. I don't like all this dirt. This dirt has really made it hard to make something of it. But basically, yeah, Winnie the Pooh Got Stuck in the Hole was my first memory of Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh Got Stuck in the Hole. I don't know what I'm doing with this one, folks. I'm going to kill off the negative positive. I'm going to make it a movement piece. So I'm just going to take it and move it around. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh Got Stuck in the Hole was indeed a memory of mine about this. Winnie the Pooh got stuck in the hole. This is a bit scratchy on the glass though because it's dirt. And that's come up looking interesting. I do think maybe we could probably utilise that rather than the picture of Winnie the Pooh himself. I don't find I'm finding this particularly an easy piece. And it's going to scratch the glass if I keep moving it around like that. Even though this photocopier is on its way out. This photocopier is used by date, is getting near the end. So basically, yeah, I'll be having to, I won't be able to afford a new photocopier, folks. I don't have that kind of money on me. And the industry, the company, this company here that I was whinging about earlier on, Konica Minolta, the manufacturer, they actually discontinued spare parts production in March, so there's only a limited amount of spare parts I can get if this machine breaks. So it's a real problem if that happens, if I end up having to deal with a breakdown and not having enough. The company who looks after this machine may have to revoke my service agreement because of this issue of spare parts availability or lack of. So I'm just going to tilt it on an angle. But basically, it's looking like I have to get on the 6 o'clock news on Channel 9 as soon as possible. I'm trying to get this work of mine out there. So really it's difficult, and I have a lot of work to do. I have to make a lot of discs to get them ready for transmission on the 6 o'clock news. Looks really interesting. But I'm really trying hard to get my stuff out there, and it's really proving to be really, really, really difficult. I really struggle with the timing of things. You know, everything just seems to be out of time and out of place, and I just can't seem to get get the TV channel interested in my work. They've got so much they've got huge agenda that they have, that this agenda of theirs really shits me off, because they just care about the sensationalism of things, you know, death, disease, disaster. You've heard me say that so many times, folks, and, you know, all the rest of the tropes and the cliches that they like to air on the 6 o'clock news. They don't care about anything new and exciting or different. They just want familiarity. They just want safe. They got to make it safe so that they don't fear that they're going to lose their ratings by playing stuff that might not be typically their kind of news. But basically, I just get the shits with them, folks. I just get the shits. I really do. I really find they really don't seem to care about people like myself who are doing it tough. I'm trying to get in touch with a lost loved one, Luigi, and I can't find him. And I don't have any friends anymore, those people that I used to hang out at church with. It was really odd about the time when, just after the funeral I went to see off my friend that I just talked about, I lost all my friends, and they all just left me and lost contact with me. They didn't want to stay around. They didn't want to be my friend anymore, or my companion, or my social group. So I really have a hatred for the church, because I feel church is really discriminates against people like myself. You know, whether it be people I know or used to know, or people I don't know, they seem to always judge me, and it really hurts my feelings, and it upsets me, it offends me. It's like a slap in the face, because they remind me of my own past, that I've got a dark past which is directly related to me not getting together with Luigi and getting married at the age of 19. I'm now 50, and I've been through the menopause. I'm now post-menopausal, so I missed out on having a good bedroom life with my partner. Fortunately, I'm still a virgin, folks, and I've saved it up for him without even knowing it. But I used to try and chase after other men, and it was really quite awkward situations I got myself into, and I ended up getting sexually abused myself in some of my relationships, or nearly all my relationships had some form of sexual abuse. So I can relate to what this person was going through to some extent, but hers was worse. But it was still bad. She was raped, I wasn't. Fortunately, I wasn't raped. But I got myself into a lot of shit, and the people at church won't let me forget it. So I forget them, I don't go talk to them, I don't fucking keep in touch, give them the middle finger. That's it, pretty much. And that's come up looking a Winnie the Pooh treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.